Hello students, we are starting with the chapter of inequalities of income and wealth in India. What is the meaning of inequality of income and wealth? Inequality means that situation of economy in which the income of large section of people is much less than the average national income, or we can say that the wealth is concentrated in very few hands. Small number of people are accumulated large number of the wealth. This problem has been rising continuously in India. What are the forms of economic inequality? It can be in three forms: inequality of income and consumption, inequality of wealth, and regional inequality. Inequality of income and consumption. First form, inequality of income. Government has appointed different committees from time to time. First committee was set up under the chairmanship of Professor Mahalanobis. Other than this, different organizations and experts, they have conducted surveys in India, and they have found out that four reports are there. The share of 10% is, according to Ledell's report, it was 34%, then 45.5, 35, then 33.3. That means they are holding this much percentage of the income in the different years, starting from 1955 to 1965. Then the bottom 20% is holding only 9.5, 7.8, 7, 7.5. So it shows that there is a wide gap between the income level of the rich top 10% and the bottom 20%. Then is rural and urban inequalities. The per capita income also depends upon the rural and urban areas. The income of the rural is very less as compared to the urban. It is almost half than the urban people. If you can see the estimates of RBI and NCAER, RBI ke accordingly, upper 10% rural are holding only 25%, while urban is holding 37%. NCARE, according to them, rural are holding 34 and urban 42. And lower 20% only 9, 7, 4 and 4. Then is inequalities of consumption expenditure. According to the NSSO survey and NCAER, top 20% spends around 42% of their income and 37% of their income, while bottom 20% they spend only 8 to 9% of their income on the consumption expenditure. Then people below poverty line, if you can see, rural are around 42%, 25, and urban are around 25%, which are below poverty line. In 2011-12, rural are 25% below poverty line, while urban are only 13%. There is a gap of around 50% between their percentage. Inequalities, second form is inequalities in the distribution of wealth and assets. Wealth and assets distribution inequality can be into three parts. Distribution of land holding. According to NSSO survey, 7% big farmers, they are holding 37% of the total agriculture land, while 70% of the farmers hold only 25% of the land. This shows wide difference in their land holdings. Then is ownership of residential buildings. According to 8th round of NSSO survey, upper 20% hold 93% of the land, while NCAER says upper 10% holds 60% of the land, while bottom 10% only 1% of the property. Ownership of the assets of private sector companies. Research Bureau says that in 2001-2002, 20 big business houses, they had assets more than 84,872 crore in India. Then is regional inequality. Regional inequality means inequality in the income, wealth in the different states of a country. If you can see, there is a comparison of high income states and low income states. If you see Goa, it is richest among them. They are having per capita income of around 274 lakh. And it is the data of 2014-15. If you see Bihar, it is only 31,000, right? It is the lowest one and it is the highest one. Causes of inequalities. Why these kind of regional inequalities, income inequalities, consumption inequalities, BPL, they exist in India? Reason is inequality in the land ownership. They are holding, only rich farmers are holding large amount of the land, small are left with very small amount of the land. Laws of inheritance, it says that laws of inheritance means the death of the father will give the property right to the offspring. In the case of rich farmers, if they are dead, their whole land holdings will be given to their sons, right? But in case of poor farmers, their sons will be given nothing but the debt. laws of inheritance says that the sons of the poor farmers will go on into the debt, while the son of the rich farmers will go on accumulating wealth. Private ownership of property in urban areas. Large amount of the property in urban areas is under the private ownership. It is not under the government. That is not used for the public purpose. Inflation, rising price level, but there is a no change in the real income of the people. Real income of the most of the people is same. That's why there is a inequality. Poverty is one of the biggest reason. Unemployment, there is disguised unemployment. People in one land, when the output there are more than required, what number of labor is required, more than that laborers they are working on it, which leads to no increase in the output. That is unemployment. They are not earning anything. Tax evasion by the rich class. More indirect taxes, because indirect taxes have burden on equal burden on every type of the people. So even poor will have to pay the tax in this case. Lack of professional training. Most of the poor people, because of lack of funds, they are not able to have the professional training of conducting business or to do agriculture with the modern techniques. Lending policy of the financial institutions. Financial institutions provide funds only to the rich people who can pay high rate of interest, and they can also mortgage some amount of assets, while this facility is not given to the poor because of lack of mortgage values for them. Corruption is one of the biggest reason. The people, by giving rich people having money, they will give bribe and they will get the license and everything, which is not possible for the poor people. Then what the government has initiated to reduce these inequalities? First of all, land reforms. Zamindari system has been abolished. Under zamindari system, farmers have to work under big rich zamindars, and zamindars exploit them a lot. Ceilings on the land holdings, that means fixation of the limit on the land holdings, so that small farmers may also get some amount of the land. Extension of public sector. Nationalization of different banks have been undertaken. First bank was nationalized in 1961. After that, so many banks have been nationalized. Encouragement to small scale industries and cottage industries, so that the disguised unemployment may be removed, which is prevalent in agriculture. Control over monopolistic activities. For that, MRTP Act has been passed in 1969. Licensing Policy Act jo tha, that was passed. Then Competition Act in 2002. It replaced MRTP Act. Then for employment and wage policy, MG Narega, which is providing 150 days guarantee job to the people who get enrolled under this. Then Minimum Wages Act, National Rural Livelihood Mission, National Urban Livelihood Mission. Minimum Wages Act, certain minimum wages have been granted. Bonus Act, that means a part of the profit to the employee. Then pricing and distribution policy, dual price policy. That means rich people will be given essentials at the appropriate prices, high prices or the normal prices, while the poor one will be given at a low prices. Public distribution system, ration shops, fair price shops have been set up by government to provide essentials to the BPL at less prices, almost free of cost, 3 to 4 rupees per kg dal, etc. Fiscal policy, progressive taxation has been employed. That means the people having high income will have to pay more tax. Social security benefits, subsidies have been granted under this policy. Measures to correct regional imbalances. More finances are given to the backward states. Special area development programs are there, and those industries which are set up in special backward areas, they are given tax concessions, tax holidays as well. So government has taken these all measures to remove inequalities, but these all measures seems to be very minor, small. They are not able to achieve the objectives till now. Thank you so much. We are done with this chapter.